saw this one phrase on the internet. It was loneliness is worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. And at first I heard this and I was like, you know what, it doesn't really make that much sense. But then I got to thinking about it and I was like, you know what? If someone is lonely, they're more likely to jump off a bridge in the next 3 months as opposed to someone who's smoking cigarettes but they're not lonely. They're hanging out with their boys, having a good time. Because being social is good for your health. It's extremely important that you have friends around you. That's what I had to learn the hard way. I grew up with a whole bunch of friends. You know those friends you have in elementary school, you just hang out with them and shit. But then I ended up losing them all. And the reason why is because, a big reason why is because of COVID. COVID came around. I lost all my friends because I was playing Xbox and stuff. I wasn't talking to them in real life. We weren't doing anything because we were kids. I just lost all my fucking friends. So going from someone who had friends, lost them all, and then had no friends going into high school, I had to learn how to remake friends. And I had to learn the importance of it because those years were so fucking miserable. I thought I could be this lone wolf. I could be this guy who has no friends. It doesn't really matter. But the reality is, during 9th, 10th grade, I went into high school. I had no friends and I was miserable. I felt like shit because as humans, we need people around us. We need people to talk to. We need friends around us. We need to do social things in order to reach homeostasis, to make sure our body's good. Because loneliness, if you think about it, it's like hunger. Loneliness is a feeling that your body makes you feel. It's a bad feeling that your body forces you to have so you can take action. It's like hunger. Hunger, you feel pain, so your body motivates you to eat something. Loneliness, you feel pain, so your body motivates you to go meet some people because humans grew up this way. Not grew up, but evolved this way. Humans, we needed to have tribes in order to survive. If you got outcasted by the tribe and you got fucking kicked out, no one's gonna take you, bro. If you were a fucking white man colonizing the Native Americans and the colonists were like, yeah, fuck you, you can go fuck off. You think the natives are gonna take you into their tribe? Maybe, but like chances of survival are low. So your body has evolved this fucking feeling to help you survive. And even though it might not be that extreme in today's days and age, it's still extremely important. You need to be around people for your body and your just life to be satisfying as a whole. So once I learned the importance of this, once I went through 9th and 10th grade not having any fucking friends, I learned to talk to people. I learned how to make friends. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about how you can make friends, how you can actually become more social and become someone who's talking to people, who knows a lot of people, who's always being introduced to new people, who's always being welcomed. People are excited to see you. That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So in order for me to do that, we need to identify the problems on why you don't have friends in the first place. If you're sitting here, this is for you. The person who has no friends, the person who doesn't go anywhere, the person who feels lonely on a consistent basis. This is for you. If it's not you, this video is not for you. You can click off. It's fine. I won't be mad. But I feel like this is extremely important for people to know. So the very first problem why most people don't have any friends and why I had no friends was because I wasn't going to places regularly. Because if you think about school, you go there, you see people on a regular basis, so naturally you're going to become friends. That's how friends are made. You go to somewhere, you see people on a regular basis, you become familiar with them, and now you're friends. That's how it works. So if you're out of school, for me it was easy because I was already in school. I could just go talk to the people there. For you, it might be harder if you're out of school. If you're out of school, you need to find some place in which you do something regularly. You need to go out there and go play for a sports team, perhaps. Maybe go to the gym on a regular basis. You'll meet a friend there. Or at least you'll start seeing people. At least you'll be around people. You don't want to be the fucking hermit sitting in his shell. Antisocial. You don't want to be that guy. So you want to be going to do stuff. Maybe it's a concert. Concerts are not necessarily productive, but when it comes to building friends and actually doing things, going to social events, it's extremely important for your development as a whole. Because think about it, What is your life without stories? I want you to think about what stories you have in your brain right now. What stories you go to different events, or let's say you have a family gathering and you tell a story. What stories are you telling? If you can't think of one, it's because you don't have a fucking life. What is the point of living life without stories? This is something that I started realizing now. The most entertaining people I'm around, they're always telling me stories. Like, I have friends in school, they'll tell me about what happened in this class, what happened in this class. It's not necessarily interesting, elaborate stories, but they're telling me what happened in their life, and they're talking to me about it. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty entertaining, because the human mind cannot ignore stories. The human mind loves to hear stories because it's surprising, it captures your attention. So if you can be the guy who has stories to tell, you're going to make a lot more friends and you're going to know a lot more people. But how can you have stories if you're not around people, if you're not doing shit? So I think that's extremely important. You need to be around people, and you need to be around people that are like you. So if you genuinely like soccer, you just love playing soccer, join a soccer team and just play. And you're going to be surrounded by people who have something in common with you. Everyone there likes soccer. But you should be actively doing things. You don't want to be the guy who goes to work, comes home, does nothing. That's the first issue. You need to be around people. You need to be getting stories. Start doing interesting shit. When you start doing interesting shit, like let's say you go travel to Toronto and you live in fucking, let's say Italy. You want to go to Toronto. On the way there, you're going to pick up stories. I was on the flight. The captain said, oh, we have a tire out. We need to go do an emergency landing. And then I was walking through the airport terminal. There was a homeless guy. He was walking. You're going to get stories. You're going to become a well-rounded person. And these are the stories you can tell to other people and be seen as an interesting person. All right? There's no point of living life without stories. So go out there and do shit and get around people, because the more people you see, the more opportunities you're going to have to make friends. The second thing you need to understand is that you need to be what I call a social beacon. You are not that right now. And that's the second problem. What do I mean by a social beacon? I mean, there's people out here who are social beacons. If you go to a party, you'll see someone in the corner not talking to anyone. You look in every single corner, there's those people. Then you see the guys who are social beacons, who's walking up to people. Hey, how you been? Haven't seen you in a long time, da-da-da. And then they go to another person, they join groups of people talking, they're introducing themselves. Oh, I've never seen you before. They're social beacons. They're people who walk around and people are just constantly talking to them, or they're constantly talking to other people. These are the guys you want to develop into. You might not be them right now, but this is the ideal state you want to get to, because being a social beacon and living life in that existence is far better than being the shy dickhead in the corner not doing nothing. So that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be more social. I wanted to go from socially awkward to socially sharp, but I wanted to be more than that. I wanted to be the guy who went around networking, getting contacts, doing projects, getting opportunities. Hey, I need a guy for this one job. I think you're the guy. I really like you. Then I go into that job. I wanted to be that guy. And these guys, these social beacons, they wield a lot of power because they know a lot of people. When you know people and you're good with people, you're never going to be behind in life. You're always constantly going to get opportunities. You're always constantly going to be ahead of just life in general. Even if you have no skills, if you're a likable person, that in itself is a skill. That in itself is super fucking powerful, all right? So in order to be a social beacon, what you need to do is you need to start identifying yourself in your core. Like, start seeing yourself as someone who's social, who talks to people. The way I did this was I slowly started to do this, because you can't just flip it like a switch. You need to slowly ease your way into this. So what I started to do was I would walk through my school hallways. I would just say good morning, hey, how are you, to people. That's all I would do. I would just wave, hey, how are you? And you're going to notice, sometimes I go for walks and I see this. I go on walks and some people walk by, they're like, hey, how are you? These are the social beacons. These are the guys that are smooth. Then you see people that just put their heads down and just keep on walking forward. These are the people that are like you that you don't want to be. You want to be the guy who waves and initiates conversations. So start doing that. If you have the ability to initiate conversations, you're going to wield a lot of power. You're going to be the guy who starts things. You're going to be proactive. You know what I mean? You're going to be the guy who gets shit done. So starting interactions with people. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. What's your name? Oh, you're so-and-so. Oh, yeah, I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. I'm going to head to the bathroom, but I just wanted to say hi. You know what I mean? So maybe walk down the street, go to a place and just wave, hey, how are you? Hello. Start doing that, because that's slowly going to subconsciously make you believe you're a social person, okay? And eventually you're going to get good at that, and then slowly you're going to progress into conversations, right? And once you start getting into conversations, there's more advanced things you need to learn about. I teach that in the communication lab. It's my program where I teach people how to go from socially awkward to socially sharp. It's in the the description if you want to check it out. But there's more things to this, obviously. But then you can slowly progress into being a social person who's better at talking to people, and that you're starting conversations, you're getting contacts, you're networking, making connections, have a bunch of friends. You're going to be that guy. So, yeah. That's the first thing. You want to slowly start identifying yourself as someone who's social. Now, the second thing I'd say to do is it's not necessarily something to do, but it's something that you need to understand. And it's that every single interaction you'll get into is transactional. What do I mean? I mean, when you see a homeless person, you think, oh, I don't like that guy. I don't want to be friends with him. He's too needy. But then when you see a CEO walking by, you're like, well, that's a cool guy. He looks like stand-up citizen. That's someone I would want to know. Why do you think that? You think that because this guy is competent. This guy has his stuff together. He has cars. He got money. He knows people. He's an important person. I can extract from this guy. And everyone is thinking the same thing about you. They're thinking, yeah, this guy, I see him. How can I take from him? That's all they're not thinking about this consciously. They're thinking about it on a subconscious level. All right, so once you understand this, and this is something no one talks about. No one talks about this. They're not like, yeah, I see this guy, he looks homeless, I don't want to be his friend. But they think about this on a subconscious level. But no one will ever say this. But the quicker you understand this, the quicker you're going to become a social beacon and be one of these guys who knows lots of people, one of these popular kids. Like, remember in school you saw those popular kids? These are the kind of guys I'm talking about. People that are starting conversations, okay? So, yeah, you want to be a social beacon. And the way you can do that is by understanding that every single interaction is transactional. So if you look like a bum, do you think when you go up to someone and talk to them, they're going to be open and welcome to you, or they're going to be repulsed by you? They're going to be repulsed by you, all right? So it's extremely important. It's basic knowledge. Obviously, look good, smell good, be in shape, you know what I mean? Be social. Being social and good at speaking and conversating in and of itself is already a huge advantage. If you can do that and not be weird, in a society where everyone else is fucking weird because they don't have social skills built, because they're TikTok doom scrollers. If you have that ability, already you're ahead of the game. Already. So you just want to be someone who understands that every relationship is transactional. And once you start understanding that, you're going to start operating in a way that shows your high status. Now, how do you show your high status? Well, you don't act like the homeless person. You act like the guy, the CEO, basically. You want to be someone who looks like they have their shit together. Like, look at me. Don't I look like I have my shit together? I work out, I have a nice watch on my wrist, I'm dressed nice, wearing a black shirt, super smooth, my hair's not long and shaggy. I look like someone who's useful to other people. And I'm telling you, as soon as you start doing shit like this and start taking care of all these other things, a lot of people are just going to want to know you. That's how it is. And when you go up to people, they're going to be like, yeah, this is a guy I want to know. And naturally, you're going to make friends that way. All friendships are transactional. just the other day I was sitting down at this mosque. I don't know if you know what the mosque is, but a mosque is like it's like, they have the church, then you have a mosque for Muslims. It's like church for Muslims, but it's like different. You know what I mean? So I was sitting down there. There's people behind me sitting on this bench, 2 girls, 2 guys. This not police officer, but a security guard for the mosque. He walks up to these people. He knows one of the guys behind me. I'm hearing him, and I don't know what they were talking about, but they ended up talking about how, I don't know what they were talking about. I guess they were talking about people, but out of nowhere, I hear the security guard say, well, you probably wouldn't want my advice. And he goes on, he's like, yeah, because I'm a loner. I hate people. My dad was a loner, and I'm a loner too. I think everyone's in the business of using people. And I'm here sitting there, and I'm thinking, yeah, he's actually right. People are in the business of using people. But instead of ignoring it and becoming a loner and becoming lonely, you need to take advantage of it. Understand that every single relationship you get into is transactional. People are going to want to extract from your life. If you're not useful, no one's going to care about you. If you understand that, my nose. If you understand that, your life is going to be much more smoother. And I guarantee you're going to make more friends. So you need to become that social beacon. All right? And yeah, the social beacons, bro. These are the guys that are seen as leaders. These are the guys that get opportunities. These are the guys that set up events. Hey, you want to come to the gym with me? Hey, bro, I'm going to this party. You want to come with me? Actually, I'm hosting a party now. Okay, we're going to go to hoop session. Yo, come. The reason why they can do that is because they initiate interactions. Get very good at that, and you're going to become very good at socializing and making friends. And the last point I want to make, so basically that's all you need to know to make friends. That alone will get you far. Obviously, there's more advanced stuff, more artistic level things I teach in my paid program. But that alone will take you very, very far. But the last point I wanted to make was that you should be looking for people that are on the same mission as you. Me, I have a mission. I don't have a clear-cut mission, but I know what I want. I want to be an important person. I want to be someone who's respected. I wanted to be someone who's wealthy. I wanted to be someone who has influence and power. I wanted to be important. And just today, I took my scooter to the library, and I saw, because I need to print some shit out for school, whatever. It was like a children's book assignment, whatever. So I just printed it out, cut it up. But I looked around, and I was like, who are these people? Do these people have any fucking vigor in their lives? Me, when I walk, you can feel the vigor in my soul. I'm like, yeah, I'm on a mission. I'm walking fast. I need to get some shit done. Boom, take it, go to the table, cut it up. I'm on a mission. I'm doing shit. When I looked around, I saw all these people on laptops. And yeah, they're just watching videos and shit, but like, are they on them? Do they look like they're going to do some shit? You know what I mean? So I wanted people on the same mission as me. I wanted brothers, basically. I wanted people that are also trying to, take life serious, who also want to get in shape, who has the same values as me. So your values might not be the same values as I, but it's very important that you need to find people that are brothers, people that are just like you, people that are competent, people that are useful. Those are the friends that I wanted. And it's very hard to find at this level of life. I'm not where I want to be yet. So when I get to where I want to be, it's going to be easy to find these people. But you should be looking for people that are on the same mission as you. When I say be a social beacon and talk to people, I don't mean just have anyone as a friend. I don't mean that. I don't mean take anyone as a close friend and trust them with your life. I just mean get to know people. Understand that relationships are transactional. Understand that, yeah, these guys are my friends, but they're not my brothers. I wouldn't trust them with my soul. You know what I mean? These guys aren't going to take a bullet for me. But they're friends. I know them. We hang out. Whatever. And life is fine. And I'm not lonely. I get to hang out with the boys, make jokes. And life is fun. So just understand that. All these people you're going to know once you become a social beacon is they're not going to have your best interests at heart until you do find someone who has your best interests at heart. Well, that's like, these people are rare. But that's the last point I wanted to make. But if you want help becoming a social beacon, becoming that guy who's walking in and out of rooms, talking to people, hey, what's up? How are you? How's it going? Hey, I just saw you, wanted to introduce myself. I'm gonna be that guy who's getting contacts, getting opportunities, the guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. If you want to be that guy who's gone from socially awkward to socially sharp, I've gone through that transformation and I've learned all the hard lessons required. So if you want to shortcut your way to doing that, if you're tired of being lonely, if you want to be an important person, you know, if you want to be someone who's charismatic, I know exactly how to get you there. And I teach that in my program, Communication Lab. It's in the description. But hopefully this video helped you. If it helped you, just like the video. I don't want to say that because I feel like a YouTuber, you know, but I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a businessman. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, if this helped you, like it though, because it's gonna make my life easier. Right? And I helped you, so help me. Right? It's a transaction. Like I said, every relationship is transactional. Even this one right here. I'm gonna be the one who tells you that. No one else is gonna be the one who tells you that. No one's gonna talk about it. I just revealed you. I revealed you the truth. So just like the fucking video. I gave you value. Give me some value back, bro. If you liked it. If you didn't like it, then I don't want you to like the video. But yeah. Yeah, if you want more help with that shit, I have all the autistic lessons in the description.